wani ta kuka ba mu goma to ina da kila da yake ATC na nashi
hosting us.
Gentlemen of the press, as you are aware, said that Allah has to be out of the country, and unfortunately we didn't tell you as a representation. Other people away, we were supposed to be here, but they have been invited back to Abuja for a meeting. And those that maybe one or two papers later that they may not be here, they send their secretary. The government of Benue here, but he's here. He said he will not be here. But I'm saying that for the avoidance of that, sometimes people prefer chaos than where unity is there. So at this our meeting, we held it to discuss issues of national concern, particularly those that concern our region, particularly the socio-economic development of the North. In the opening remark, of which this time around we didn't give at the beginning, we called on the political actors and indeed leaders at all levels to be focused on issues that will engender national development and the consolidation of democratic gains in the nation. We stressed that national interest should be reiterated that the nation is going through challenging times, requiring the forum's collective sense of patriotism, political maturity, dexterity, and governance. We also decided and adopted the recommendation of the board of New Nigeria Company on the recruitment exercise. Managing Director, Mr. Adole Kotri, Executive Director, Management Services, Abbas Aliyu Waziri, as Executive Director, Business Development, Ali Gobbi Abdullahi, as Executive Director, Investment Supervision, while Baba Barnabas is the Company Secretary and Legal Advisor. And the NNDC, as a company, has been directed to submit 5 years plan at our next meeting. We can also consider the recommendation of the paper for the Committee on Reconciliation, Healing and Security, and we resolve that each member state to study the recommendations and promptly implement them as appropriate in the interest of peaceful coexistence and development of the country. On the petroleum industry bill, we articulated their value on the bill to the National Assembly. The forum therefore resolved to continue to engage members of the National Assembly for the speedy passage of the bill in the overall interest of New Nigeria newspaper company. The forum noted and appreciated the release of the first tranche of pension liability of the company by the federal government and appealed for the quick release of the second tranche. The meeting also considered the recommendation contained in the report of the Committee of New Nigerian Newspaper, which is chaired by the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, and aimed at repositioning the company towards attaining the objective of its establishment. We therefore resolve that member states yet to redeem their are urged to do so before the next meeting of the forum. We also concluded before members hears and update the report of BGL Consortium on the New Nigerian Newspaper. On the Kaduna Textile, we have received their complaint and we noted it, and it will be examined thoroughly and decision taken at the next forum. The civil rights in Nasarawa came to our attention, and a delegation of the forum to visit Nasarawa State with a view to controlling the government and people of Nasarawa State over that civil unrest that caused loss of lives and property. The forum also condemned that civil unrest and controlled the security operatives and their families, the security agencies, and the families of those who lost their lives. The economic activities in the north, the forum expressed concern over economic problems facing the nation and the north in particular, and resolved to have an economic plan emanating from the states, the zones, and the region that will form the basis for our economic development of the north. The forum congratulates the government and people of Nigeria for the sustenance of democracy in our country for the past 14 years, and hope, pray, and must do everything possible to sustain democracy in our country. And thank you very much for your patience.
I know you. Format. So we're asking you format. No, you are one is not format. Me, you are my mentor. Okay. You do our decision here. Okay.
Yes, it has one of them. The federal government of emergency in 3 states, and then trying to kind of rather look very ambivalent, actually.
Because one, the declaration of emergency is to make sure you contain the actual insurgents and whatever weapons that they have. Two, the amnesty part and the negotiation is to bring political aspects. Even in war, the rules of engagement is that people who surrender, you must open a window for them to escape. So in this one, we are saying that we look at it as a normal process that will go on. Each one has its own duration. The committee is really to recommend to the federal government the level after going around. You see them going to all the states that were affected. They will listen to the people. They will recommend to the government. And they will do this, I think, within 6 weeks or thereabout. The emergency, the longest time it will take is 6 months. Hoping that within this period, we'll be able to come to terms with it. So that you don't see a contradiction in the process. All we must emphasize and insist is that the rules of engagement must follow. And for every decision that you have taken, you must give window, because at the end of the day, all you want is to reconcile the people together.
Okay, second question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Should I say the book of the book? We are noticing the fewer numbers of the presence of there is some kind of lacuna.
No, sir. If I send my deputy to your place, whether I like it or not, whatever decision is taken there is part of my decision. And remember, and I've been saying it loud and clear, that if I die today, before I'm even buried, my deputy will be sworn in. And you had an example even in Kaduna State. We saw an example in Yobe State. So sending a deputy does not reduce, even at the federal level, if you remember. So that sending a deputy does not reduce the level or the importance of the level of that representation. Believe me, if you find out, even the day we were to meet on the 21st of last month, if you recall, but we had to shift it because of the issues we had in Abuja. When the new date was fixed, Ogi is receiving some delegation, and he said it there and then. Taraba was going to the US to see his principal. He said it there and then. What we did not say to him was to have given him a mandate to say, no, you can send either the speaker or the secretary to the government to represent you. Then the others, you will discover that they were caught by either traveling within the day. I recall that Sokoto is in The Hague today. Is in The Hague, and Kano just came back a day before yesterday and called me and said the deputy was coming. So that, whatever problem you have at the national, has nothing to do with the Northern Governors Forum, believe me.
But Chief Servant, sir.
Yes, sir.
One of your members threatened that after that election,
Yes, sir.
because he remains the governor of Bauchi, he will not attend the Northern Governors meeting.
Good. What happened is that when people feel aggrieved, you don't go back retaliating what they say. He said, he did not write to this meeting, and it's a voluntary organization, and we have resolved as a group to follow it informally. You didn't hear any one of us replying back in the way you had it home. Thank you very much.
Sir, we have stated that today you will be having an election to find the new leadership.
I am not aware of that. Maybe we did not, even that issue, even now that you mentioned it now, did not even come in our discussion. So think of something else. Yes, sir.
I want to find out something.
The issue of Amajiri.
Wait. Let's get this young man who has been in New Nigeria and who knows the history of New Nigeria and who by now knows how the management and the sale of a newspaper, very few newspapers today can profit unless you turn it the other way around. So in many media houses, in many cases, are becoming not for profit. And New Nigeria started as one region with 1 vote of charge. And now it has 19 votes of charge. We take a decision, we persuade, we cajole, we appeal. Still you find us saying some members may need to redeem their pledge. But in terms of interest, in terms of passion, in terms of understanding that it's a legacy we want to sustain, yes, sir, we are very, very interested. You have heard how now we commended the federal government because one of the major issues was the pension to be paid. They have given a tranche of 420 million. We have information that the next one will be probably by the end of this June or early part of July. And you heard me saying that we set up a committee to update on what the BGL as a consortium did for us on New Nigeria. And by next meeting, we will take our decision one way or the other.
Mr. Chairman.
How to absorb the malams that are in that school. And then when I do that, in fact, I may not even have to pronounce ban. If Niger State will have 3,000, I wonder what Zamfara, Kano, Jigawa, Sokoto will have. And it's a culture. So you don't just wake up and ban a culture. You have to work within to absorb. Yes, it's a clarion call, and each one of us is doing one thing or the other. If you had read your papers, you will discover Kano has even gone far ahead beyond doing census, but is already implementing some few policies.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the meeting, the election of the Governors Forum appeared to have...
Which one?
The recent one.
Yes, sir.
Appeared to have brought a crack between the Northern Governors Forum, within the Northern Governors Forum.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what led to that and how you mending this problem?
But if I'm going to tell you what led to that, we will stay here till tomorrow. So I have no intention of doing that. I will only tell you that in whatever process of elections or whatever, that there may be one person or the other aggrieved. We seem to be developing a culture, even in our normal elections. As you prepare to contest for elections, you should also prepare to contest in the courts. Thank you very much, sir. I am reporting to you, Chairman Northern Governors Forum. If you want my views, I will tell you we had an election. We have a problem, we will solve it. Believe me, that is the only thing I can. We will solve our problem, we will solve it.
Who are you supporting?
We had an election, so go and think of what that means.
Who won the election, sir?
You. I thank you very much. National answer, please.
an san cewa a Najeriya maganan arziki da ayyuka da sauransu muka yi ce to dole ne kasar komawa mun yi ayyuka da yawa akan wannan amma a fito da su mu ga menene za mu iya ƙara yi menene wanda za mu roƙi wayansu su yi mana menene wanda za mu ce a gwamnatin tarayya ne za ta yi sauransu muka kuma dubi takardun in tuna mun sa kwamiti da ta dubi kafin ma wannan wanda gwamnatin tarayya ta yi mun riga mun yi wannan sosai muka duba cewa kowace jiha an ba ta abin da ya kamata ta yi to mu je mu yi ba sai mun jira sai abu ya tabbata ba kuma mun ji daɗi da cewa wannan kwamiti da aka sa na gwamnatin tarayya ita ma ta dubi abin da muka riga muka yi tana kuma aiki da shi mun dubi batun in kun tuna kwanaki mun ce a kamfanin namu na New Nigeria Development Company cewa su ɗauki ma'aikatar sosai don kusan kowa aktin ne ko kaman irin zaman rikon kwariya suke yi. To an tabbatar da sai da aka gaya makina ko duk mai so ya so an sun duba an ɗauki wanda ya kamata mun gaya makina wanda batun jaridar nan na New Nigeria ita kuma mun dubi abin da ya kamata mu yi maka duk jihohin da ya kamata su biya kuɗaɗen da su ba su biya ba to su biya kafin taron mu da za mu yi mai zuwa. Ita kuma gwamnatin tarayya dama ba su suka da ake binta ta fara biya, mun yi godiya mun kuma yi roƙo cewa da Allah ta ci gaba da biya.
mai girma kai batu da jama'a suke gani kamar ku gwamnonin arewacin ƙasar nan ba ku da kishin da ke maganar jaridar New Nigeria
a to ba yanzu na gaya maka ba na ce mun sa baitin ne za a kowace jiha ta biya ta kuma ga gwamnatin tarayya tana yin abin da ya kamata inda muka rubuta, sannan mun sa kwamiti dama akwai kwanaki da muka sa consultants su duba mana menene ya kamata mu yi, sun duba. Yanzu mun sa kwamiti na sakataren gwamnati guda 4 su fito mana da yin abin da ya kamata kowace jiha ta yi.